Okay, sir.
Right. So one thing is speed measurement. So one thing is speed measurement. How we measure speed in your computer. So that is basically using hertz, megahertz, hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, and gigahertz. How that happens? Hertz is basically 1 cycle per second. 1 cycle per second. What is cycle? Cycle means if a process happens periodically, let's say a drop of water is falling into the floor periodically, something like this. So let's say it's happening 1 drop per second. තප්පරයකට එක බිඳුව ගානේ වතුර බිඳු වැටෙනවා කියලා හිතන්න වෙන. ඔය වගේ වතුර බිඳු වැටෙනවා තප්පරයකට එක ගානේ. So then we call 1 cycle per second. If a repetitive task happen again and again, so cycle means the time taken to happen the same task again. So that is cycle. 1 hertz means one such thing. So then 1000 hertz means 1000 such cycles. Actually, what is this repetitive cycle? The repetitive cycle is data is captured, then sent to the memory, then sent to the processor. After processing, it will come back. So likewise, let's say there is a cycle theoretically. So let's think that as a cycle until a single data unit is processed. What is the time taken? That can be taken as a cycle. Or maybe the smallest instruction, to process the smallest instruction, what is the time taken? So that can be treated as a cycle. So that is some example. So, but that is not really a cycle, but so that can, so one instruction can take more than one cycle to one processor cycle to process. So that also can be there. Anyway, 1000 such cycles is called kilohertz, and 1000 such kilohertz or million cycles we call megahertz, and billion cycles is gigahertz. Actually, processor is operating in the range of 2 to 3 gigahertz, sometimes 3 to 4 gigahertz. That is billions, 4 to 2 to 4 billions. Such cycles will be there in the processor. So think about that fast. And then the memory capacity measurement unit is like bit. Bit means binary digit. That is 0 or 1. You can say, simply think about a bulb. Bulb has 2 status, on off. A switch has 2 status, on off. So that is called a cycle. So that is called a bit. On off status. That is called a bit. Right? Anyway, such bit. 4 such bits is called nibble, and 8 such bits it's called a byte. 8 such bits is called a byte. Then 2 to the power 10 bytes or 1024 bytes is 1 kilobyte. 2 to the power 10. Then 1000ක් ගන්නෙ නෑ මේකේ. දෙකේ බල වලින් තමයි ගන්නෙ. දෙකේ 10 වෙනි බලය 1024යි. ආසන්න වශයෙන් 10. But it's taken here, it's taken 1000, right? It's not 2 to the power, just taken 1000, but here it's taken 2 to the power 10. 2 to the power 10, 1024 is 1 KB. 2 to the power 10 KB is equal to 1024 KB, which is 1 MB, 1 megabyte. Then the gigabyte, terabyte, peta, exa, zeta, iota, likewise, it moves up. Actually, our memory capacities are measured in megabyte, gigabyte level. Our hard disk capacity is measured in gigabyte, terabyte level. Network capacity is measured in this tera, peta, exa, zeta, iota byte level. That is network capacities. And kilobyte level is your cache memory, and bit level, byte level is your registers. So registers are smaller than the cache. Then you have main memory, random access memory, then hard disk, and then the external storages and network storages and cloud storages. Okay, I hope that you have done up to now. So the remaining part I'll be discussing next week, right? The remaining part I'll be discussing next week. Till then, good night, stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Bye.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.